Hey everybody. Oh, oh, now this is not on my. There we go. That's better. Good morning, everyone, and Happy New Year. I know it's the 3rd, but this is the first time I'm back on, so Happy New Year. I'm working on my stitching. Normally I do stitching videos out on the dining room table, but I have a jigsaw puzzle that's nearly finished. That's out there, so I want to finish that up. And if I'm out there too, my husband's trying to work downstairs, and he doesn't need to listen to me chatting away, so in here's better. And you have a different view of the craft room this morning because the laptop is actually set up on my pressing mat. So now you can also see how I always talk about how there's a window behind the laptop most of the time. Because over here is where it usually sits, and I look out the window. Hi, Charlotte. Happy New Year to you. You're most of the way through the day, aren't you? In the Netherlands. Oh, the light in here is probably not the greatest, but it's January. It's sort of cloudy. It's about 3 degrees Celsius. Oh, Charlotte's busy preparing dinner. I figured it was around that time. I'm having my second coffee of the day. It is 8:31 a.m. I'm currently doing one of the fancy M's in this project. And that dark red, that is DMC 3802. It's like a dark cranberry, mulberry sort of color. Oh, good morning, Deb S. And Charlotte said it's 2 degrees Celsius in Netherlands. Yesterday we only got to about 1 degree, and it was sort of not really snowing, but like midi rain, sort of. Because 1 degree down here on the ground is probably more like -2 or 3 up there where the clouds are, so it sort of falls as snow but doesn't quite make it to the ground as snow. That sometimes happens. In the winter we get like a little sprinkle, and then it warms up enough to change to rain, and then it all goes away. We're supposed to get rain later on today, and a high of 4 or something like that, so not below 0. Cool. Put your jacket on. Be prepared. Go outside. Maybe an umbrella. Charlotte says they've got wet snow. Yeah, I don't like it when it goes all mucky, but it's so usually moist around here, like we have a marine climate. So the snow's pretty heavy, which if we get enough of it, the kids like because it makes a good snowman. But sometimes it's too cold and we get our weather system from the east, and it's drier, and then it's just that powdery stuff, and it blows all over the place and makes visibility crappy, and it just goes like dust in your hand. Alright, so I'm going to take my glasses off and get cracking because I can't actually see to stitch with glasses on. So I'll peer nearsightedly at the chat. I'm going down the other side of the M. And it has a blue center on it too. I got to put backstitch with I think it's, hang on, 833 I think is the backstitch. Yes. It goes around that blue part on the interior of the M. This is 28 count Lugana. I'm doing it 2/2. So, vision is important. I do need to get new glasses, though. I just haven't got around to it. I have progressive lenses. And they're also expensive because we don't have extended health insurance for things like that. I mean, I can go to the eye doctor and I don't get a bill, but I don't have insurance for glasses. Sometimes, depending on where you work, like, your business or your employer, they do that kind of thing where you have extra insurance for, like, glasses or chiropractor or prescriptions or, that kind of stuff. Physiotherapy, dentist. My daughter has that with the vet clinic. But my husband and I are self-employed, so we don't have that. Deb S says 14 Fahrenheit. Feels like -1. Oh, do you have like wind chill, Deb? I don't know what 14 Fahrenheit is in Celsius. -10, maybe? Not really sure, actually. Whoops. Oh, snagly on the back. I don't want that. Let's dangle it. Oops, I forgot to put my timer on. Hold on. Oh well, not that it matters. There we go. Start. For this goal for WhipGo this year, each of my goals is an hour because I wasn't really sure how I wanted to do this. I've never done it before. So the other day I did a bunch and I finished with 27 minutes and 37 seconds, so I just set the timer for that. I'll probably wind up stitching more on this. January is pretty quiet, so chances are pretty good I can get a reasonable amount of stitching in. I mean, I'm also trying to get a good bit done on that wolf quilt. Yeah, is that, yep, -10? Is that about right? That's just a guess, Deb, sorry. At least you guys can see what I'm doing in here, even though you can't really see me that good, but that's what I'm trying to show you every so often. So, next year for 2026, I might do WhipGo. My goals might be like 3 days or something like that. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. And depending on what quilting projects I'm doing, I'll put more quilting projects into that list too. That depends. Okay, how far does this M go? Let me just consult the chart. I gotta go right there to where those little yellowish ones are. Okay. Next to it. Did everybody's holiday go good? Oh, hello, Deborah Holtman. Hello again. Oh, and Deb says Deb S looked it up. I looked it up. It is -18 Celsius. Okay. That's pretty cold. We don't get that around here. Last year, we had a spell where it was -17, which is highly unusual for this area. Oh, and the complaining and moaning about... We actually lost some of our shrubs out front because they died because it was that cold. I mean, we never get that. That was weird. -5, -10 sometimes, once in a while, but doesn't get that cold here. I live east of Vancouver. Bye. An hour's drive, 100 kilometers, 60 miles, 65 miles maybe? I never remember exactly. But Vancouver and Seattle are like 150 miles apart. So we get the same weather. usually rain. Usually not that hot, usually not that cold. Charlotte says she's trying to put a lot of stitches in number 11. I want to finish that piece this year. Stitching on it now for 2 years. Too long for a small one. Yeah. This is my number 11 project. I fixed my video for the first. I think. Whatever. I forget when I was supposed to put it up. But yeah, the pictures went all crazy on my Whipco video, and I'm like, oh, for goodness sake. I don't know. Sometimes that editing program that I use is really good, and sometimes it's like, what did you do that for? That was one of those times. Because it looked great. I was like, okay, I don't just abandon it, I watch it through. Alright, looks good. Okay, upload. Apparently not. Well, now I know. Don't do that. Oh, hang on, I got all tangly again. Just a minute. Okay. That one goes down there, like so. And then we have a diagonally one right there, like so. Make sure that's 2 holes, yes. Okay. So now I only need to do that side part after the blue's done. Alright. Now that I finished that, oh, hang on, there was my eye again. Excuse me, everybody. Bugging me. Okay. Glasses back on so I can see you properly. Now, I want to show you guys something, too, because coming up, projects. I bought this book in 2021, I think. And I did a little bit of a dive-through video. So I will link that in the description box for when this video goes onto YouTube. I'll put that in the description box so you can see it. But I'm going to be seeing my sister on Sunday, on the 5th, because it's our dad's birthday. So we're doing a family dinner thing. And next week, we are going to go fabric shopping because we need a whole bunch of Kona solids. That's how you make these gems. Like 5 different tones, make it look facety, right? So I will be showing you more of this book as I do it, but as it pertains to the project my sister and I are doing. Because we finally figured ourselves out, and our mother turns 80 in May. So we got to make the quilt for that. Foundation paper piecing. My sister's never done it, but she's a good seamstress. I'm sure she can do it just fine. I'll just show her how. Because I've done it a ton. And that wolf quilt is going together like lickety-split. So, thank you Violet Craft for that good pattern. I'll be buying more of their patterns. Here, if I turn the laptop just a bit, hold on. You can kind of see it. There we go. Okay. Deb S is in Iowa. Ah, that's why you get cold weather. That's kind of in the middle of the U.S., isn't it? I think. Deborah Holdman is working on a dish drying mat. Crochet. Oh, that's awesome. I can't do that. I can't knit. Anything with that, yeah. Charlotte is going to switch half of this month to number 20. Good plan. Yeah, this Whipco thing is a total experiment for me, so I'm not really sure. I just thought, well, I'll just do this and see how it goes, and in the future. If I don't like it, I'll do something different. And Deborah's in Illinois. Chicago, right? Yes. Great Lakes. Okay. Had to think about that one for a second. Okay. So, now I need the blue that goes down the middle of the M, and that is 322. All of the other writing that's backstitch is 312 on this project. And I'm supposed to do 1 billion French knots in 312, which is not going to happen. I'm getting beads. I can't remember the name of the website. You can look up a DMC to Mill Hill bead conversion on Google and it comes up. There's apparently some blue that's kind of like 312 that will look okay. It's hard to get an exact match, but there's a ton of Mill Hill beads, so you can probably get something pretty close. I do have a reasonable amount of Mill Hill beads. Yes, I'm sorry, I put floss in my mouth, but I don't have 3 hands. And I washed the project after. Nobody freak out. Okay, Deb S is 2 hours west of Chicago. Okay, so, right, and Deborah Holdman is 60 miles from Chicago south. So you're, okay, mentally looking at the Google Maps. Yeah, got it, okay. The U.S. always confuses me because the states are just smaller. And you change state borders quicker than we do here in Canada, like for our provinces. Our provinces are so big. I mean, the southern boundary of my city is the Canada-U.S. border. And the border crossing is 20-minute drive back to the west. When we go to Costco, it's like, you can like spit to the border practically. So crossing the border is simple, but to get across the border of Alberta, we used to do it all the time when our kids were in college. And to get all the way to Olds, north of Calgary, was a 12-hour drive along Highway 1. So when we crossed into Alberta, because you got to get through Rogers Pass and Golden, the town, and then I can't remember where exactly the boundary thing is. You go past Field. There's a little nothing town called Field in the middle of nowhere. And then you start climbing up again, and that's where the spiral tunnels are. There's a good viewpoint. It's 2 tunnels that go through the mountain to make the grade come down for the trains. It's kind of famous. And then not too far after that is where you cross the border into Alberta, and that's like a good 8 hours to drive that. And to go all the way to the northern boundary of BC to get into the Yukon Territory, that is like, I don't know, 12, 14 hours. We drove 10 hours all the way to Prince George once, and that is about 3/4 of the way north in the province. Ten hours from here south gets us all the way to about Portland, Oregon-ish. So that one, make sure I'm right here. Almost there, because I got to put red on the other side. Okay. There. There's a whole pile of this blue in the border too. That's what's going to be all the work is the border on this thing. Okay, and then this goes down here. Let me just see how many I need. Aha. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Hang on, I'll show you guys 1 second. Whoops. There you go. When I have a column of stitches to do, depending on how I want to anchor my line of stitching at the end, or where I can do it, sometimes I complete each cross and just go down, like I just did with those red ones. And sometimes I do one leg of the cross first. Can you guys see that? I can't actually see what you're seeing here. I'm looking through the fabric and guessing you can see this. So when I get to the bottom of the 9 stitches, then I'll go back up and I'll do the other cross and complete the stitch. I don't know if you guys can hear that clunking in the background. That's the garbage man. They're in the back at our neighbor's house. Charlotte says 6 hours drive from house in northern part of the Netherlands to down south in the Netherlands, and that's around 500 kilometers, I think. It could be more. Yeah, that's a pretty long drive. Deborah Holdman made 8 pads from my Swiffer dry mop, so I don't have to buy them. I just tossed them in the wash. That's a good idea. I'm eventually going to make the little dusters from flannel for the little plastic duster holder. Laura Lynn did them last year. I forget. I'm like, genius! I'm totally doing that. I just haven't. I don't like flannel. I find it a pain in the. So I'll just buy some cheapo whatever flannel that's on sale, and who cares what it looks like? It's going to be a duster. Starch the frick out of it so I can actually sew it. Flannel's a pain in the... Anyway, but for something little that's like yay big, you know, probably doesn't matter. But, yeah, the mop would be a good idea too, actually. I don't have one of those anymore, though. I just vacuum. I got so much dog hair, mop's not cutting it. Ferris's hair just floats all over the house, and Henry's falls out in clumps. So you get, oh, there's a chunk of black hair, or there's a chunk of... I vacuum, suck up all the hair, then I mop. And I have one of those spinny mop things with a bucket. Vileda, I think. Deb says they're going to make some of them too. Charlotte says, I believe it was a weekend project. Yes, I think so. I think you're right. Laura Lynn comes up with clever ideas. So what's everybody got going on for January? I just looked ahead at the calendar and I can have 3 lives. Like, oh, okay. Because the next one is 17th, I think, in 2 weeks. And then the last one's the 31st. Because February starts on a Saturday. It's like, oh, okay, that's cool. Might have the opportunity to get together with friends this month that we never managed over the holidays because everyone's busier than anything, right? You can't do everything. We try, but it never seems to work out. And our friend is one of those super busy people that sort of can't pin her down that great. So, we'll try. Other than that, it's just plugging along. I got some clients that are going to Puerto Vallarta in February, so they got to get paid up this weekend. So I'll be talking to them tomorrow and getting their payment done. There. Okay. So far, so good? Now we just got to put the other bit of red down the other side of that blue, and that M is basically done except for the back stitch that goes around the blue part. I'll probably do that before I quit on this, and then I can show you guys what it looks like. Hang on, there goes my eye again. Just a minute. I was really good until I started my live, and then all of a sudden... No, Ferris, you can't come in. Nudging the door. Okay. So that one's gone. We don't need 322 at the moment. Bye-bye. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I put the grid lines on in green. That's that heat pen. I just do it so I can see where to put the wording next, so I don't mess up the spacing. Because I want to go up from this M. So there's more regular backstitch wording up here. And then there's another M, like there-ish, sort of. And that's the top row. And then there's border above it. It's just going to fit on this piece of fabric. Because I had just enough. But I'll probably make it a wall hanging, so I'll put fabric around it anyway. It ain't going to matter. Okay, a bit more red. Oh, hello, Laura. Laura Supp has joined us. I saw, Laura, that you were one of the winners from Katie's Live on New Year's Eve. Congratulations. And I think Dawn was too. I'm like, oh, I know those people. Because Katie put it on her community page. I was able to join Katie's Live very briefly at about 2:15 my time on New Year's Eve. But she gave me the Zoom link, and I had about 20 minutes. And then we had to go. Traditionally, our friends do this seafood feast on New Year's Day, on the 1st. Everyone potlucks everything else and brings appies, and my husband made rice pilaf and stuff. But because the 1st was a Wednesday and the 2nd, everyone's got to work again, they decided they'll do it on New Year's Eve this year instead. It wasn't like New Year's Eve. It was just dinner. We came home, I went to bed at 10:30 on New Year's Eve. I don't do that anymore. Oh, Laura has exciting news. I just got the pre-authorization for my fractured back. Sorry, everybody, for bending down, but I can't see the chat. I'm just waiting for the surgery center to call back to schedule. Oh, yay! That's terrific, Laura. I hope that all goes well. Okay, so there's 3 here. At least the light is on the right angle for me to see in here. It's pretty good, actually. Actually, this is actually better light for me than the dining room table is. But there's also a nice big window in the dining room, so usually I just use the light coming in the window, but when it's cloudy, it's not that great. Okay. And 3 goes there. Yes, hang on. Wait a minute. You would think all this time of doing 2 over 2 that I can find the hole properly, but not always the case. Right, and that one goes and butts up next to the blue one. And I still haven't finished that styrofoam ball ornament that I did on the last live. I just put all the fabric and the ball into a box and put it out of the way. I probably will finish it up this month though, and I'll stick it in my bin of Christmas ornaments. Yesterday I took down the village houses from my mantle in the living room. And some other decor things that I had sitting around and put them away. But we haven't taken the tree down yet. That might be a tomorrow activity. We'll see. Hi, Lori. And hi, Gladys. How are you ladies doing? Thanks for coming in. I didn't put away the 2 houses that are on the downstairs mantle yet. I just got the boxes out while I was getting all the other boxes and stuff out. And I took down like the trees and the people and stuff in the village. I put all them away in their bags and their boxes and everything. So I'll probably do the other 2 houses today, and then everything can go in the closet downstairs, and then it's out of the way again. Most of the other stuff that's left to take away, like the ornaments and the tree, they go somewhere else in storage. So that's kind of why I did only that part yesterday. Charlotte says she's going to take her village down this weekend. The tree's already down. And Lori Clark, our 45 to 60 centimeters of snow has started. Stitchy day, yes. Yeah, I saw that on the news, that you were getting that. Well, it showed Aurelia on the news last night. Or was it this morning? I forget. No, last night. Global National. You're getting that lake effect snow, right? If we get any snow, January is usually the time it happens. Usually. Last year it snowed right before Christmas. Buggered up everyone's travel. Yay. Oh, there's my timer. Dismiss. Yay. Okay. There's officially my goal done. So I'll mark it down as the 3rd. I will do the back stitch. I think it's only 1 strand. Hang on. To the correct page. 2 strands. Yeah, there's 2 strands for the lettering. That's 2. 1 strand of DMC 333 for backstitch within the illuminated letters, and 1 strand of black for all the other outlines. Okay. So, it is 1 strand then, when I get to it. Hang on, I'll show you the book. Although you guys have probably seen the book 1,000 times on my other videos, but... And I apologize for you all getting a good look at my forehead when I bend down to see the chat, but I do have to see the chat. All of you guys who come around my lives know you just get me as you get me, and I do the best I can with what I have, and I just want to chat with my friends every now and again, that's all. Oh, and I keep forgetting to put the Buy Me a Coffee link in my videos. I know it's... If anybody wants to do that, that'd be great, but I do this channel for fun. Just watch my videos and chat with me. That's all I care about. It's fun. I like it. But I will try to remember to put that link in the description box after this goes onto YouTube. I give it a little bit of time, and then I'll mess with it a bit. Okay, where do I stop this? Just a minute, let me just check this. I think that's as far as I go on this part, is just the end of the blue. Yes. Okay. Now, through here. Come on. Okay. Around these big letters, there's supposed to be beads about every 2 stitches, all the way around the whole thing. Or, pardon me, French knots. Well, it's not going to be French knots, it's going to be beads. So, I'm not sure. I might just do all the beading at the end, because there are several letters on this thing. There's there's 3 M's, right? For May, yeah, there's 3 M's. 1 in the S for spirit, 1 in the H for heart, which is already going... That's this over here. That's a lowercase a. Oops, sorry. That's a lowercase h. And then right at the end, there's an L for love. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these big letters that have to have beads all the way around them. And also, beads go in the middle of... There's 1 bead in the middle of that light green square in the middle of the M. And 2 beads in the middle part where there's green and white, like checkerboard style. So, there's no way I'm doing all those French knots. I hate them. Hate them. They look dumb. I just don't like them. I've never liked them. So, beads it is. In some close enough blue. Okay, and get this out of the way. That's the book. The teacups project's in this too. That's nearly done. That's on the rotation for when it comes up in WhipGo. That's only backstitch. Alright, what's up with chat? Okay. She's asking, Laura Supp is asking Deb, what's the weather in like your neck of the woods? So Deb says it's cold again, yeah. That's colder than I thought, Laura says. Hope you're staying warm. Alright, how are we doing for time? 10 after 9? Not bad, not bad. I'm in the midst of filming some more of the wolf quilt because I made a bunch more pieces. So I'll be doing another video of that, and I know I got to do some more putting them together. Pretty much, it looks like, from what I have, I'll be doing like the entire upper right side of the quilt, like the wolf's ear and all the background and down towards his eye, more or less. Because you have to sew the, like this piece has to go to, you got to do everything in order on the assembly diagram. Piece this to piece this, and then this piece to this piece, and then sew those two pieces together, and then take that bit that you just sewed together and attach it to something else you sewed together before. So I got to go systematically through it and tick off, okay, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this, otherwise I'll be lost. Other than that, like being careful and, you know, going slowly and methodically, piece of cake, this quilt. Piece of cake. Okay, Charlotte says, oh, and Deb says, no reason to go out, I've been sewing. Yep, good idea. Charlotte says, French knots equals wartime for me, so yes, beads instead. I like beading. I don't mind it. I know some people hate it. No, beads, blah. No, I don't mind it. Lori Clark, French knots are not fun. My daughter got this embroidery kit, some Bob Ross thing, whatever. And she came over yesterday, and they give you certain colors in the kit, but there's a list of DMC colors, and she doesn't have hardly any of them. So she scooped a bunch of mine. I'm like, okay, well. And she took all my little flossy bags, so I gotta go get some more. There's a knitting store across town that also has some cross-stitch things, but that's all I got in this town. It's kind of shitty, actually. Oh, pardon my bad language on YouTube. Oops, me bad. So I gotta go across town. I was thinking of doing that later, but if the wind picks up and it starts raining, I might not. We'll see how the weather goes. And this lady's not open until 10 anyway, so I'd be leaving, like, coming up in the next little bit. So we shall see. Laura says, I'm looking forward to getting back to my sewing room. I've basically been flat on my back since I fractured my back on December the 10th. I'm going crazy. Yeah, I bet. You can't even do anything other than maybe read? Like, yeah. That sucks, Laura. I'm glad you're getting a result, or coming up on a result anyway. Yay! Fingers crossed. Oh. So, I don't think I've got anything else to tell you guys. I'm pretty much done that. I'll count the goal as January the 3rd anyway. Write that down. And yeah, let's carry on. I probably won't have much to do in lives for January, just because I'm plodding along doing all my usual stuff. It's kind of, you know, more what's always going on. So maybe I'll do some of the wolf. It's hard though, because I don't know. I gotta play with Streamlabs and try to figure out if I can get some phone camera and add that as a source in Streamlabs, so I can go between cameras. But that only might be the paid one, because I did that with StreamYard, but I was paying for it, and I've only got this free thing, so it might not work. So if I'm doing paper piecing for the wolf, I'm up and down, up and down, up and down, and you guys can't see me. I did get a microphone for Christmas, so even if I'm cutting, you guys can at least hear me talking to you better. So that will be helpful, but it would be nice to have two cameras. I just don't know if I can actually get that to work or not. Laura says she's been watching a lot of YouTube. Lori wants my weather? Yeah, it's about 3 degrees and cloudy right now. Ish. The wind is somewhat brisk, though. I don't think we're actually at wind chill, but it's brisk enough. There's big trees over there, and they're waving back and forth. Here, I'll show you the picture of this project. Whoops, that's what it's going to look like. See all those big letters? I don't think there's any beads in the border. Hold on, maybe, I don't think so. Oh, there's a few, maybe. Hang on. Yeah, there's a few black ones, actually. I think it's only there's only 4 of them in the corners. And they're supposed to be French knots in white, but I can't figure out where they are. I don't know. I know I have loads of white beads, so maybe that's why I didn't worry about it. Oh, I see they're all over there. Okay, that's all black beads all along that side. Where the heck are the white beads? Huh. Yeah, I don't know. They're not really obvious. Let's say that. I guess I'll come across them when I find them and go, oh, there's the bead. Whatever. I'll just pick one of my white beads and use it. It doesn't matter. Laura is in Arizona. It's 54 now with a high expected of 76. 76 is like 18 Celsius or something like that, I think. I always have to guess because I'm never sure. Anyway, what are we at now? 9:16. Okay, I think I'll call it. So thank you everyone for joining once again. I do appreciate it. I'm always happy to chat with my friends, and I will see you all around on other people's lives. I gotta get a hold of my clients again today and just get the timing right for doing their payment tomorrow. But I'll probably join up with Laura Lynn's live at some point. And then we'll see how the day progresses with taking down the tree and all that. We don't have to. It's fake. We can leave it up for like all of January if we feel like. It's just get the living room back to usual would probably be a good plan. Bye, Gladys. Have a great weekend, says Laura. Thank you all, everybody. I really appreciate it. It's always nice to chat with my friends. Take care, all. Hugs and happy stitching, happy quilting. Bye. Oh, Deb says 76 is 24. That's pretty nice, actually.